Yesterday I have covered the election procedures of President of India. Not only that, I have also covered about the special power of President, that is veto power. I have covered 2 sessions of President. Now I am going to the third and last session about the topic of President of India. So let's start today's session. Let's see. Apart from veto powers, there are certain special powers that have President. Okay. So in the last class I have already told you about President have certain kind of legislative, executive, financial, military, judicial. Okay, these kind of powers President have. These are the special powers. In reality, actually President have certain special powers, but generally people of India assume that President of India does not have much kind of power as Prime Minister. In reality, that kind of power as Prime Minister have can't be equivalent to President of India, but somehow President also have a special kinds of power. Now we will start each by one, okay, looking each and every topic of powers of President. So let's start. See, first of all, we are going to start with executive power of President of India. I hope all of you have covered the previous sessions of President of India. Many of you are actually very eagerly watching my video and asking their doubts fluently. That is why it is giving me and our team a self motivation to assist you with a more humble preparedness. Okay, we are also going to start mains answer writing practice soon. Not only that, from 24th of June our PT test series are starting for those students who are feeling this year. So let's start today's session. Executive power of President of India. The first one, this may look elephant size, but I will explain in simple words so you can get it easily. It is mandatory for mentioning me so that if you are found any kind of problem, even you can take a screenshot of these slides. Okay, that is why I have mentioned here in a large section. So please focus on what I am saying, not more focus on where this is written all about. Okay, so just see. First point says that all executive actions of the government are formally taken in his name. In the first class of the section of President, I have told you that all the decisions taken by the cabinet in the chairmanship of Prime Minister. Meetings of cabinet always be chaired by Prime Minister of India. So all the decisions taken by the cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister of India will be taken by the cabinet. That is okay, fine, but taken in the name of President of India. If any kind of decisions or executive laws made by cabinet committee, then that laws or that decision will be formulated in the name of President. I hope you are getting it. I am giving an example through which it will be more clarified about it. Okay, fine. Suppose any kind of decisions, there is a cabinet meeting going on, PM is chairing this high level meeting, and some important decisions has been taken regarding certain issues. If any decisions or laws made by the executive level, not from the legislation, even the laws made by the legislations also taken in the name of President, that also taken in the name of President. But here, if executive made any kind of laws or decisions and that laws has to be formulated throughout the country, then that laws should be taken in the name of president. That this law, whatever the laws has been formulated, it will be written like this, that this kind of laws has been formulated in the name of President of India. Fine. Even any kind of legislations or laws passed by the Parliament of India has been taken in the name of President, because President finally approved that legislations. In the last class I have told you. So I think first point is clear to all of you. The second one is that President appoints the Prime Minister and the other ministers. Whenever you will see that, or suppose let's see by an example. In 2019 general election, our Prime Minister has taken the oath. Who has present at that time? Who was present during the taking the oath? That was President. So President actually appoints the Prime Minister. President will found that, see, if in 2019 general election BJP secured 272 plus seats, so it is a duty of the President of India to see that either any party, any single party or coalition of party means more than one party joining together to fight the elections. So President will see that either a single party or the coalition of any party is going to prove the majority or not. So President seen that at that time that NDA has secured 272 plus, that is a majority mark. So it is the duty of the President to appoint the Prime Minister of that person who will be appointed by as their leader by these MPs. All the MPs choose their leader to become a Prime Minister, and it is the duty of the President to appoint that Prime Minister. And who will become the minister in that prime ministerships? Okay, separate kind of ministers. Okay, like foreign ministers, finance ministers, defense ministers, a lot of ministers take oath. So it is the duty of the President to appoint ministers. See, President, it is not the desire of President that whom he wants to select as a minister. President can't do it. If President wants that any person whom President wants to become a minister, then it is not possible that he will appoint him as a minister. Not. This procedure is not followed. Prime Minister of India choose their ministers and said to the President of India, informed to the President of India that look, these are our ministers who is going to take the oath. So President have to follow the instructions of Prime Minister, that whom Prime Minister himself or herself wants to become the ministers. Are you getting me? MPs, only those MPs who can become ministers, only those MPs will become the ministers as Prime Minister wants, not the President. Just it is a procedure that Prime Minister has to inform President, so those MPs will take oath as a minister in presence of President. That's okay. The third one is that it means President of India appoints CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Comptroller and Auditor General of India, CAG. I will take a separate session on CAG and CEC, Chief Election Commission. CEC means Chief Election Commission. During the second lecture of our polity session, I have covered CEC. And other ECs means other election commissioners. Right now, there are 2 other election commissioners. I have told you in that session. Even President appoints Chairman of UPSC. The Chairman of UPSC and other members of UPSC will be appointed by President. But please remember this one line, that president will appoint only those persons in any kind of institutions, in any body, only on the recommendation of prime minister. Whom prime minister will recommend, only that person will become the head of that body or the members of that body. Even chairman of UPSC will not be directly selected by the President of India. Only prime minister will suggest that I want that, prime minister will say that I want that this person should become the chairman of UPSC. Okay, so please provide him the chairmanship of UPSC or members of UPSC. So it is the duty of the president to follow the instructions of prime ministers. He cannot deny, president cannot deny the advice, aid and advice of the prime minister. Listen this sentence carefully. President of India cannot deny the aid and advice given by the prime minister of India. Not at all. Okay. Whatever prime minister has said, it's the duty of the president to obey that. Okay. So appointed by president. Look, prime minister himself appointed by president. In the same way, all the persons which is mentioning here, either chairman of PPSC, members of PPSC, chief election commissioner, other election commissioners, and comptroller and auditor general of India, okay, of a state chairman, and membership of financial commission. Even membership of financial commission is a separate term. I will take regard in the separate session. All these, even CAG, comptroller and auditor general of India, I will take that in especially in a separate session. That is an important one. Okay, so understand that all these persons will be appointed by president, but only on the recommendation of prime minister. Fine. So I am moving to the next slide, because I am hoping that all of you have not deflected yourself and deflected your mind from this topic, and all of you have got the points what I have said. If not, then it's your fault. Okay, so please be attentive what I am saying right now. See, I am trying to finish each and every subject with a detailed view, but not taking too much time. Okay, I will finish all the subjects as soon as possible with a very detailed view. Nothing I will left at all. If anything will be left by me, whenever I feel that something has been left to me, our team, okay, the team which has been hired by me always inform me that sir, this part has been left. So I will cover all those sections. Even some of things left by me, then I will cover throughout the questions and I will explain those questions. So nothing is going to be left. All things will be cleared. Not a single point will be left at all. Next one, that he can seek information. He means here, whenever you can see he, it means president, because I am taking the section of president. So president can seek information relating to the administration of affairs of the union from prime minister. Just see this sentence carefully. President can seek information means he has the right to be informed relating with the administration of affairs of the union from prime minister. What are the prime minister doing at the central level? It should be informed to the president of India. Just one sentence. What is prime minister doing relating to the affairs of union means at the central level? It is the duty of president that he should be informed, okay, about that matter. Next one is that president can ask prime minister to submit for, president can ask, not it's purposely, he may ask, not necessarily. If he wants, he may ask. So president can ask PM to submit for consideration any matter on which decision has been taken by minister but has not considered by the council. Let's see, if there is a cabinet committee going on and some ministers will sit in cabinet committee, here is a prime minister that will chair the cabinet committee. Okay, cabinet meeting chaired by prime minister. After in that meeting, if a finance ministry has taken certain decisions relating to the fiscal policy. Now what is fiscal policy? the policy adopted by the finance minister for the circulation of, for the development of our economic growth. Okay, so that's his fiscal policy. Fine, have you got it? So if in that meeting finance minister has taken some decisions regarding fiscal policy, but till now that decision has not been informed to the president, and if president feels that certain decisions has been taken in the meeting but I have not been informed, so president may ask from prime minister, because prime minister chaired that meeting. So president may ask prime minister that what decisions has been taken by a minister which is not visually in public, just inform me. Okay, I want to know what decisions have been taken. Fine, so moving to the next slide. Okay, I hope all the points have been cleared. So next slide please. Next one is that president can appoint a commission to investigate into the condition for SC, STs and other backward classes. Here, like SCs, STs, what are the conditions right now of SCs, STs, even other backward classes like OBCs, what are the conditions of these sections of our society? President can appoint a commission to look and investigate into the condition of these sections of society. President can appoint a commission, that commission will submit a report to the President of India. After that submission, president may, as he feels necessary, he can take any decisions. Fine, so this point is clear to all of you. Now president can appoint an interstate council to promote center state and interstate cooperation. Even president of India can appoint interstate council. What is interstate council, you may ask? So interstate council is a council whose work is to implement the work, okay, or suggestions given to whom, who will implement those work. And this interstate council will really help to the relation between center and a state. Fine, the relation between center and a state is a really important part, because India is a federal structure. Fine, India is a federal country, unitary too, but it is a federal too. What is federal, unitary? I will cover all those. Don't hesitate and don't mind it. I will cover all those in the upcoming sections. All the points which you are not getting properly, okay, in these lectures, all the points will be clear to you. If you are too eager to know about those points, then contact our team. You are already contacting to our team. That's very good. Okay, so center and a state relation, even a state and a state relation will go healthier and healthier by establishment of this interstate council. That council will be established by and appointed by President of India. Fine, so moving to the next slide. So our next slide represents that president directly administered duties through administrators appointed. Like there are several UTs in our country. UTs of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, newly formed. Even Daman Diu, Dadra Nagar Haveli, that's now a single one. Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu are separate earlier, but now that's combining into one form, one UT. Okay, there are so many UTs present in our country, Andaman and Nicobar. So these are the Lakshadweep, these are the UTs who is directly administered by the home, by an administrator. In these UTs, an administrator appointed by president. Administrator appointed by President of India. This administrator will look into these duties as chief minister looks into the states. In the same way, this administrator will look into the situations and conditions and follow the regulations and rules, laws in these duties. and this administration will directly inform the president that whatever is going on in this UTs. Okay, so president appoints these administrators in these UTs. Fine. These administrators are known as lieutenant governors in Delhi and Puducherry. Lieutenant governors. Fine. Otherwise, in other UTs, they are known as administrators. Somewhere it is known as governors too, but normally they are known as administrators. Like recently, there is an ongoing situation in Lakshadweep regarding administrator, whose name is somehow Ats Patel. Okay, so there is a issue, conflict going on in Lakshadweep. Okay, so that administrator in Lakshadweep has been appointed by President of India, but President of India appoints all those administrators only on the recommendation of Prime Minister of India. Whatever he will appoint, not by himself, not by his desire. Okay, whatever Prime Minister wants, President has to follow. Okay, so Prime Minister will suggest that appoint this person as the administrator of this UT. So President will then after appoint it. Okay, otherwise President will never appoint on by himself desires. Okay, now President can declare any area as scheduled areas. There are certain scheduled areas in our country that mentioned under 5th schedule of the Constitution. So he can declare any areas of scheduled areas and has powers with respect the administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas. It is the President who will decide that which area should be termed as scheduled areas or tribal areas. It is the duty of the President. Okay, duty of the President, and President will look after those areas. President will appoint some of the administrator to those areas, or otherwise President will directly look into those areas. Fine, so moving to the next slide. I hope I am not going really vast. Okay, so next slide please. See, now comes to the legislative powers. Okay, legislative powers of President. So there are so many powers that you may get confused. It's possible that you may not remember all the points, but if you read one by one all those, or you will see the videos 1 or 2 times, okay, then if there will question come, you can easily find out that these are the powers of President or not. Okay, see, legislative powers. President can summon or prorogue the parliament and dissolve the Lok Sabha. See, summon means it is the duty of the President that President would take a call that at this time session of Parliament of India should be happen right now or at a certain time. That winter session, okay, monsoon session, these are the sessions, these are the types of sessions. I will take all those in Parliament sections. So the sessions, the timing of the sessions will be finalized by President of India, but on the recommendation of Prime Minister. Each and everything is on the recommendation of Prime Minister. So President can take a call to summon, to initiate the session of Parliament, and even prorogue means what? It means to finish that session. Okay, so President may, after there is an ongoing session, and if President feels that this session should be redeemed right now or by 1 or 2 days, whatever he wants, but only on the recommendation of Prime Minister of India, okay, so he will prorogue, means redeemed. Now this session has been finished, now we have to wait the next session. The Parliament and dissolve the Lok Sabha. Suppose right now BJP in ruling party NDA, okay, if due to certain issue arises and he loses the majority, okay, then it is the duty of President of India to dissolve that Lok Sabha. Dissolve means the ongoing government is now nowhere in the majority. means the parliament is now dissolved and a fresh new election will be conducted. So whenever the president will feel that there is a majority of loss has been happened in the parliament of the ruling party, then a president will dissolve the Lok Sabha. Or even if the opposition party has moved no confidence motion against ruling party, no confidence motion. I will take all these parts. What are no confidence and the other motions? No confidence motion means opposition feels that at this time, this certain times, the ruling party has actually not a majority votes. Okay, some MPs of this party, okay, not supporting the ruling party. So what opposition will do that? Opposition will take no confidence motion in the parliament, and after that a voting will happen, and if the government will fall, if the government will not touch the majority mark, then president will dissolve the Lok Sabha. Okay, yeah, look at the term Lok Sabha. President cannot dissolve Raj Sabha. Raj Sabha is a permanent body. Okay, Raj Sabha is a permanent body. Even the majority marks has been lost by the ruling party, even then only Lok Sabha will be dissolved, not the Raj Sabha. Raj Sabha is a permanent body. So president cannot dissolve Raj Sabha. President can dissolve only Lok Sabha, only when the ruling party has failed to prove the majority. The next thing, sorry, president can address the parliament at the commencement. Listen this word. Okay, I am just taking it. Suppose 2019 elections has been held, 19 general election, India has come to power, government has been ruling. Now the first session of the new fresh election has, the first session of the parliament has been started. The first session of the parliament has been started. Okay, so in this first session of the newly fresh election, just after the first session will happen, in that session actually what will happen? President of India will address that parliament, address that house. President of India will address that house in the first session of the just after the fresh election has been held. Not only that, the first session of every year, the first session of every year, okay, the first session of every year will be addressed by the President of India. Okay, fine. So the first session of just after the newly fresh election has been held, okay, that will be addressed by the President of India. Not only that, the first session of each and every year of parliament, the first session of parliament of each and every year will be addressed by President of India. And in that section, President of India actually tables and keeps the vision of the ruling government. Fine. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Yeah. Now president can send message to the House of Parliament with respect to a bill. Just attentive. Okay, suppose any bill tabled in Parliament, but that bill has not become a law because that bill has not been passed from Parliament yet the bill has not been passed from the Parliament. In that case, President of India may ask that what is the situation about that bill, why that bill is even not being tabled after and voting on it, not discussion on it. So president may seek information, okay, and send a message to the parliament that see what you should do regarding this bill. Okay, so President of India can send message to the House of Parliament with respect to a bill pending, that is pending in Parliament, or otherwise. Okay, or otherwise means whatever the Parliament feels about certain kind of bills, he can send message regarding that bill. Now absence of a speaker and deputy speaker. Let's see, clear. I have written all these things so that if any kind of confusion may happen, then you can take a screenshot of these slides. Okay, so see, if there is an ongoing session of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, means there is ongoing session of parliament, if a speaker of Lok Sabha is absent, even deputy speaker of Lok Sabha is too absent, both are absent. So it is the duty of president that president will appoint any of the members of Lok Sabha, as the chairman of Lok Sabha, means as the speaker of Lok Sabha. Till that time, as both will be absent. So president will appoint any member of Lok Sabha as president wish. Fine. In Rajya Sabha too, if the same process happen, okay, that both are not present, then president will appoint any members from the Rajya Sabha to lead that house. Okay, so this point clear to all of you. Next slide please. See, president nominates 12 members in Rajya Sabha. Actually, in yesterday class, I have told you that nominated members of Rajya Sabha do not participate in the election of President of India. Okay, but who elect those nominated members in the Rajya Sabha? President. President will nominate, at current time, President will nominate 12 members as MP in Rajya Sabha. Okay, nominated by president. Fine. Earlier, two Anglo-Indians were also being nominated by the President of India, but recently, last years and 1.5 years ago, okay, almost 1.5 years, or you said 2 years, 1.5 years almost, the law of being nomination of 2 Anglo-Indians in Lok Sabha has been removed. Okay, so currently only 12 members of parliament, 12 members has been nominated by the President of India as the member of parliament in Rajya Sabha. I hope this point is clear to all of you. Now, disqualification of MP in consultation with an election commission. If president knows that and certain information has gone to president that any MP has won the election, and in the election procedures, actually what happened that each and every candidate has to submit his report, has to submit his background, that has he done any kind of crime, what kind of assets he has, how much money he has in his property, his assets, all things he has to submit. Okay, so if there is an information passed to the president that certain MPs or even 1, 2, anything, if one MP or any MP has hidden his criminal background or hidden his property assets or anything, then president can disqualify that MP. Okay, president can disqualify that MP, but since it is related with an election, so election commission of India will definitely involved in that matter. So president will disqualify MP, but in consultation with election commission, president can disqualify that MP. Okay, so this slide has also been covered to you. These are very simple ones, actually looking like an elephant size, but these are very simple ones. So next one says that introduce certain types of bills tabled in parliament, prior recommendation of the President of India is necessary. Prior recommendation means in ordinary bills what happened that first of all any member of parliament tabled the bill in parliament. After that discussion happened, then voting happened. If passed from one house, then go to another house. Okay, after going to that house too, if from there if that bill has been passed too, only after then this bill is going to President of India for their approval, so that bill becomes a law. But in certain types of bills, okay, the prior recommendation, first of all you have to take the approval of president. Only you can table that bill in the parliament. This is the prior recommendation. So president's prior recommendation is needed to introduce certain types of bills in the parliament, like a bill involving expenditure from the consolidated fund of India. What is consolidated fund of India? I will take separate sessions, all these funds, okay, I will take in separate sessions. So if the government want to expend the money from consolidated fund of India, then the prior recommendation of president is necessary. Not only that, even appeal for the alteration of boundaries of states, like recent Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, okay, Jammu and Kashmir has been bifurcated in two parts, two union territories, Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir state has been bifurcated in two union territories, in Jammu and Kashmir UTs and Ladakh UTs of Ladakh. So prior recommendation of president was necessary to do so. To do that activity, prior recommendation of president was necessary. Okay, so if you want to alter the boundaries of any states like Jammu and Kashmir, then also prior recommendation of president has been necessary. You see that at that time a constitutional amendment bill, okay, like ordinary bills, so it was passed, okay, it was passed in parliament, but before passing it, our home minister has taken already the prior permission of president. Fine. Or if creation of a new state, if you want to create a new state, like Jharkhand has been created from the altering the boundaries of Bihar in 15 November 2000. So in that scene also the prior recommendation of president is necessary to become or form a new state. Okay, whenever you form a new state, it may possible that it is any UTs and you want to make a state, so you have to take a prior recommendation to make that UTs a state. Or if any state is present, then you have to create a new state separately out from this state, then also prior recommendation of president is necessary. Fine. So I hope these both points are clear to all of you. So can I move to next slide? I am moving. These are the large sections actually, and I want to finish it today's session, okay, because I have to finish all the subjects. Okay, so let's see. President can promulgate ordinance when the parliament is not in session. See, generally 3 sessions has been held in parliament in our country. Generally, when I will take the lectures of parliament, all the sessions in detailed view will be clear to all of you. So generally 3 sessions of parliament has been held in 1 year. So during the gap of suppose 1, 2, 3, these are the 3 sessions of parliament, but during the gap of these sessions, if there is necessary to make any law, okay, to make any act, then what the government will do? The government will recommend the president to formulate any ordinance, okay, and that ordinance of president has the same kind of power like the powers of any acts, any laws. The same kinds of powers and force that ordinance will be, and that ordinance will be issued by President of India. So president can promulgate ordinance when the parliament is not in session. This ordinance must be approved by the parliament within 6 weeks. When suppose let's just hypothetical example, it may be differ. Okay, suppose this is July and this is October. Okay, so 2 months gap here, August and September. So during August, if Prime Minister feels that certain laws should be made, but how can I make? Only after the next session will happen, only then na. So he will tell the president that please make and promulgate any ordinance, okay, an ordinance So president will promulgate an ordinance, and the ordinance will continue till the next session has been comes in. Okay, up down, the ups and downs will come when parliament next session will happen, because when parliament next session will happen, it becomes necessary that when in October the session of parliament has been started, then within 6 weeks of from the initial date of session starting from parliament of October session, from the first date, okay, within 6 weeks from the first date, you have to pass that ordinance to make a law. Okay, so there can be ups and downs in that ordinance after prorogation of what? Last session and initiation of new session. So within 6 weeks from his assembly, he can also withdraw an ordinance at any time. Even before a starting of that session, within 2 days, within 1 month, okay, president can withdraw that ordinance. Okay, if he feels that the fulfillment, the desires of that ordinance has been completed, so even he can withdraw it any time. But once that ordinance has been promulgated and president has not withdrawn it, and after that if next session has been come in, then from the initial date of that next session, okay, within 6 weeks from the initial date of next session, that bill has to be passed by the parliament to continue that ordinance as law. Fine, I hope this is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. This is about president ledge of reports. See, here is Comptroller and Auditor General of India. CAG submits the report to the president. CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, submits the report to the president, and it is the duty of the president to table that report in the Parliament of India. Okay, so he lays the reports of CAG, UPSC, Financial Commission and other before the Parliament. So whatever the reports of UPSC, Comptroller and Auditor General of India and Financial Commission and other commissions, all that reports will be submitted to President of India. And what President will do that? President will tabled. President will keep those reports in front of Parliament. Fine. So this point is clear to all of you. Next one is that Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu. Now Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu both are in one union territory. Okay. So Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep and Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu. Okay. These are the parts where directly administered by the president. Apart from this, in case of Puducherry, okay, president can legislate making regulations, but only when the assembly. See, Puducherry has a legislative assembly, you know. Puducherry do not have any ministers, but they have the legislative assembly. They have the minister, but not that kind of like in Delhi. Okay, so what happened that president can formulate laws in any UTs. Okay, but in UTs of Puducherry, president will make any law only when the assembly is suspended or dissolved. When the legislative assembly has been suspended in Puducherry or has been dissolved. Dissolved means majority has been not proved. Okay, the government has failed to prove the majority. Fine. This is too clear to all of you. So moving to the next slide. See, now financial powers. Okay, so financial powers. Money bills. In money bills, you have to take prior recommendation, okay, to tabled money bills. Government will take the prior recommendation of the president to table the money bill, in the parliament. Fine. Now annual financial budget, it will also be tabled by, see, finance minister tabled the annual financial budget tabled by finance minister, but before table that budget, actually finance minister meets president of India. Okay, so that means annual financial budget also has been taken the recommendation of president only after, see, before presenting the money bills in the parliament, you have to take the prior recommendation of the president. Apart from that, whenever finance minister is going to present the union budget, the financial budget of the country, just before presenting, the finance minister has to take the prior recommendation of the president. No demand for grant. If certain kinds of special grants, if government wants to made for any specific place, any specific purpose, then he must take the recommendation of President of India. Okay. Next is, president can make advances out of the contingency fund of India into, see, there is consolidated fund of India. I will take all these funds in a separate session. Okay, these are very important ones. Even this is contingency fund. Okay, contingency fund. So if there is certain unforeseen conditions like this time COVID, so if this kind of emergency situation, crisis situation has been coming, and government wants to utilize the money from contingency fund of India, okay, so government has to take the recommendation of, to take the permission of President of India. That point say this thing. Okay, so now moving to the next slide. What is judicial powers of the President of India? See, judicial power is Chief Justice of India, like Justice Ramanna. Okay, Justice Ramanna at present time. So Justice Ramanna has been appointed by whom? The President of India. Before this, it was whom? Okay, before Justice Ramanna, it was something else. Okay, or before them, it was something else. Okay, so these CJIs are being appointed by President of India, and not only Chief Justice of India, other judges of Supreme Court will also be appointed by President of India. Fine. And the judges of high courts also appointed by the President of India. Just remember that all the judges of high court and Supreme Court will be appointed by the President of India. All the judges of high court and Supreme Court will be appointed by the President of India. For high courts, even some special recommendation from Judge of Supreme Court CJI is necessary, but when I will cover the special High Court session and Supreme Court session, all these facts will be covered. Just remember the words, all the judges of Supreme Court and High Courts will be appointed by the President of India. Okay, fine. Now Supreme Court can seek advice from Supreme Court. See, if President of India feels that since Supreme Court is the interpreter of the Constitution of India, remember this word, Supreme Court is the interpreter of the Constitution of India. Whenever President will feel, see, only Supreme Court can interpret the Constitution of India. Only Supreme Court, nobody else. So Supreme Court is the interpreter of the Constitution of India. So whenever President feels that he wants some kinds of advices, aid and advices from Supreme Court in certain issues, okay, so Supreme Court will give aid and advice to President of India. Okay, but it is not binding on the President. Means whatever the advice given by the Supreme Court given to the President of India will not binding on the President. It is on the desire of President, okay, to take that recommendation, to take that aid and advice or not. It's upon the President. Let's see in just 30 seconds. Supreme Court is the interpreter of the Constitution of India. Only Supreme Court can interpret the Constitution of India, nobody else. So whenever President feels that during any kinds of issue arises and President feels that I should know detail about it and I want to take aid and advice for resolving this issue, and I will take that advice from Supreme Court. So Supreme Court has to advise President in that matter, but it is upon President that either President of India will accept these advices or not. It is not binding that whatever the advice Supreme Court has given, President has to accept it. No, it is upon the President that he has to accept it or not. Fine. So I am moving to the next slide. See, in judicial powers, okay, another thing is that President can grant pardon, deprive respite and remission of punishment for suspend of permission commitment sentence. This will be covered in upcoming slide with detailed view. Okay, so moving to the next slide, all these will be covered, nothing, this is not anything. Okay, so yeah, I will cover those things. Let's see diplomatic powers. See, the international treaties and agreements, India has done certain agreements, certain special treaties with another country, another foreign country. Okay, so these all are done on the behalf of president, on the name of president. Actually it is done by the prime minister, but done in the name of president of India. Okay, so the international treaties and agreements are negotiated on behalf of the president. If prime minister will go in a visit in France and he has to deal certain special kinds of treaties, then in that treaties paper of India it will mention that on behalf of president of India, India wants to make agreements, okay, with France on these things. Understand? However, they are subject to the approval of the parliament. Okay, it means that treaties will be formulated in reality or not will be upon the parliament of India. He sends and receives diplomatic, like whatever the ambassadors, high commissioners in another country has been appointed by president of India, but only on the recommendation of prime minister. Even other foreign countries send their ambassador, high commissioners in India. That is also that the whole thing should be controlled by president of India. Fine. So moving to the next slide. It is about, I think, military's powers. It is about military power. Just click. Okay, so military powers. So president of India is the supreme commander of the defense forces of India. Who is the supreme commander? Listen my words. Who is the supreme commander of the defense forces in India? It is president. President is the supreme commander in the defense forces of India. Clear? Nothing explained about it. Who is the supreme commander of the defense forces in India? It is president, supreme commander of defense force. President appoints the chief of the army, navy and air force. All the three armies have certain chiefs, so those chiefs will be appointed by president of India. President can declare war or conclude peace subject to the approval of the parliament. If anything going on, like if India is going on conflict with China, Pakistan, okay, or any nation, then president can declare war. That looks, India is going to fight a war, contest a war with China or Pak or any other country. This will be declared by president. Actually actions are taken by prime minister, but all are done in the name of president. Okay, that's why. And conclude, even they can say that now it is peaceful environment, so war has been ended and now we are going in peace manner. But it will happen only after the approval of the parliament. When parliament will say that now the war situation has been over, now there should be peace, so the certain things that has been bared in the time of a war, now that should be removed. So after the approval of the parliament, the decision will be taken by the parliament, but in the name of president. So that's why I said that he can declare a war. Not by himself, president can declare that look, India is going to war through Pakistan or China. Not. Just because all the decisions taking in his name, that's why here is written that he can declare war or even he can declare peace. But the decisions will be subject matter to the approval of parliament. Fine. If any other slide. Emergency powers. Yeah. National. See, I will take emergency provisions in a separate chapter, but there's three things mentioned here. All these will be repeated in that session. National emergency, article 352, president's rule by two articles, that is article 356 and 365. Financial emergency by article 360. So please, if you want to memorize it, you can memorize it. Otherwise, I will take in a emergency provision in a separate session. Another slide, if any other slide remaining, I hope one slide is pardoning power. Yeah, this is the one. this is the one slide which I have skipped at that time. Okay, pardoning power. So Article 72 of the Constitution of India, Article 72 comes under which part of Constitution of India? That is under Part 5. Under Part 5. Part 5 covers Article 52 to 78. Fine. So Article 72 says that President have the power to forgive or any other things. What are the that any other things I am mentioning here? That will be covered in right now in the upcoming slide. All these will be covered. Okay, so moving to the next slide. Let's see one by one. By example, if I will give through definition, you will get confused a lot. Okay, in pardon what happens that, okay, president forgive, okay, means whatever the punishment got by the offended person will be finished. Not that person, not now, that will be forgive. Okay, he will not going to the jail. Okay, so pardon is a special power given to the President of India. Fine. There is certain exception like, okay, so like tribunals and all things that governors can't, but here I am taking the regard of president. So president can forgive the offended person. That is called pardon. Completely forgiveness. Okay, from any crime. Second is commutation. In that one, what president do that? If president feels that this is not getting proper justice to that person, then if president feels due to or any other certain reasons, if president feels, then what will be happen in commutation section? If anyone has get the punishment of death sentence, then president can change this death sentence into only a surviving in only in jail. That is lifetime or anything. Okay, so lighter, it becomes a death sentence to a lighter version of punishment. Is it or not? Yes. So from death sentence, now it is even a lifetime imprisonment or even less than that lifetime imprisonment. So lighter punishment. Okay, from any harder punishment to a lighter punishment, not only death sentence, any harder punishment to a lighter punishment, like from lifetime imprisonment to a 10 years imprisonment is also a lighter punishment. So that comes under commutation. In pardon, fully forgiveness. In commutation, lighter punishment. In remission, what happened that in the remission, actually the punishment will be same. Okay, the punishment will be same. Like if anyone got 10 years imprisonment, if any convicted person got 10 years imprisonment, then president, it is power of the president has done during the remission section that president can decrease this imprisonment period. So if 6 years or any years less than 10, 5 years. Okay, so punishment will be same, not lighter, not going to be lighter like commutation, or not give to forgiveness like pardon, but punishment will be same. You have to live in jail. Okay, but the period will be less down. Okay, all these 3 are clear to all of you. So only 2 hours remaining, that is despite and reprieve. So in despite, what happened that, suppose let's say that any physical disability, any physical disabled person has done crime, and he is suffering from any kind of disease or anything, or is physically damaged or physically disabled, then president may feel that this person, I think this is not justice for totally justice, so this person should survive in jail for a short-term term. So if this person has got 5 years jail or 10 years jail or what is the terms and conditions, that persons can be jailed for less years. if president wants. Okay, even if any a woman who has done a crime and that woman is pregnant, okay, that woman is pregnant, so in that time even president can steps down the period of punishment too. Okay, now next is deprive. Okay, in deprive, so all the four sections are clear to all of you. So I am going to the last one, that is deprive. In deprive, if I will give an example, that if anyone is going to be hanged, if anyone has got the punishment of death sentence, and he is going to be hanged, after 5 days. Okay, after 5 days he is going to be hanged. Okay, so a request will go to the president. If offended person will desire, then he can submit a request to the president. If president feels, president will take the time, it may possible, or either president will reject the request, or even president can accept the request, or even president can withhold that, give me some time, I will think that. So if it is possible that president will say that right now please stop it and not give a death sentence in 5 days. Okay, so please withhold right now for few days. So after few days, whatever the decision will take, president will take. So the stoppage of halting of punishment comes under reprieve. It means this is generally in death sentence case. Okay, so I hope all the 5 things have been clear to you. I am just repeating itself again in 2 minutes. Pardon, fully forgiveness, commutation, a higher punishment to a lower punishment, like death sentence to life imprisonment, or 20 years life imprisonment, or lifetime imprisonment to 10 years or 5 years imprisonment. Remission means the punishment will be same, the nature of punishment will be same, but the period of that punishment will be less. Despite means due to some physical disability, or even a pregnant woman has done certain kinds of crime, then that punishment may be loosed down by the president. The 5th and the last thing is deprive, that thing withholding or halting the punishment, which is going to happen in recent time. Okay, so I think all the 5 things have been clear to you. So any other slide remaining or not? Check it remaining or not. I think it's not remaining right now anything. So students, all the parts of president has been covered. If certain things have been left, I will cover all those in questions, and if certain things have been left by mistake, I will cover in separate sessions too anytime. But I think I have covered all the important points, okay, that may be asked in your examination. So meet you tomorrow. Thank you students. Thank you.